Hi, I was interested yesterday in kind of flipping the narrative of EU and us, them. I don't know. I don't Sweden. Sweden doesn't buy it, but Russia, EU buying Russian oil and gas. And I'm gonna flip the question here when I wanted to know firstly what is going through the Russians' mind right now. They have basically been told like in a year we are not in a partnership any longer. So we are just going to stop buy from you. And I was just thinking, okay, if you know that, do they think about, okay, but then we can just cut you out before that? Because I think that we are in a period of time where you have to think of yourself. Like Russia needs to think about Russia. And if this is not a stable partnership, if this is hanging loose, if they are going to supposedly just wait around, or like, I don't know, how do you calculate that? Like next year we have absolutely no revenue, or what? I don't get it. What I understand is that Germany still buys Russian oil or gas or whatever, but it comes through other means than the Nord Stream today. France buy and Italy buy. And I feel sorry for Italy in all of this because they seem to be stuck. They seem to be. It wouldn't be better for them to leave EU. It wouldn't be. It's not particularly good for them to be in EU either. So they're just stuck. And I think that our energy minister, Ebba Busch, was real excited over the fact that EU is going to stop buying Russian oil and gas 2027 or something. It's like a year or something. And I was just, okay, you're a little bit too optimistic here. So what is going on? And I've done a video on this, and I think she, in her mind, she sees the opportunity for Sweden. For Sweden, we have 3 energy plants, Ringhals, Forsmark, and a third one. And they're starting to close those down. And I don't know if they can restart it again, but it's not sustainable to keep them open. And Sweden is very self-sufficient with, I think it's water and air, that we have them all. So it's a good mix, I guess. I thought we were on our way to kind of scrap nuclear power plants, but it looks like they are getting better and better. Like if you build a new one, it's like we know what to do. Today we know how to store it, we know how to close things down, we know how to, it's pretty much safe, what I've understood. And I think it's because of those 3 power plants that Sweden actually is well functioning when it comes to energy today. She may think that well, then we can sell, then Sweden can be like Norway is, I guess. Norway with their oil, they sell what they have to Europe, and Sweden could be like selling our excess in energy. And obviously as a Swede, I see that fine, that's good. But we are still in EU, which means that if Russia decides to cut off EU from all, like, yeah, no, from next week you're not going to get any oil or gas, we have to take care of our own partnership. So we have to kind of build on stability and countries and leaders that actually wants to buy from us. We can't keep doing this. It's very unsustainable and childish, like petty, I guess. And if that happens, the energy price in Europe is going to go up. Last time it tripled, if I remember correctly. And if they cut it out, like, yeah, no, we are not going to open it up again, then that will be for a longer period of time. And so would Sweden. So the Swedish people will not be happy at all. So I'm just kind of putting it out there. Like, if Sweden is still in EU, then this is not a good deal for Sweden, no matter how much you want to suck up to EU. So we have to actually exit and become what Norway is to EU, with EEA and Schengen or not Schengen or whatever. But that would be a better deal for Sweden than actually be in EU and supply. If that is what her kind of mindset, because she was really happy about it. So I don't know. So what would actually happen if I did a reading on I did one for myself, so I wanted to know what blockage like Putin has. So I did one for him too, and he knows that he needs to walk away, and I think this has to do with this. That's why I bring it up. He knows that he needs to walk away, but he has a problem with kind of relationships or partnerships that doesn't really give him the stability that he wants, craves, or can rely on. It's very unsustainable with the Europeans, and I think he knows. He just don't want to do it. He just don't want to walk away. He doesn't want to kind of make something die and then rebuild it from scratch. I think he sees what they have been building and thought that he could like continue on it. But I think the universe is hinting at him that, yeah, no, you need to destroy it to kind of build on it again. If Russia, if the talk in Russia is to, yeah, no, they're going to disappear in a year anyway, so why don't we just kind of cut them out earlier? Because we need the stability, we need sustainability, we need to know how much is coming in and how much is going out. We need that, and EU is not giving that to us. So there will be mistrust and miscommunication on both sides, secrets, leaks, and unclear motives. EU doesn't want to believe Russia will actually pull the plug, and Russia feels EU never listens when it warns them. Both are operating from pride and emotion rather than intuition. That I think we can agree on. The war aside, they have been doing this for quite some time. And I absolutely think that it's good to be have your own energy, but you have had so many years to actually get that moving, and neither France, Italy, or Germany has done so. So the talk, they talk a lot. I'm not saying that everybody should be on them to change it, but they speak about it themselves. So maybe stop, maybe not do that if you aren't self-sufficient when it comes to energy. It's like embarrassing. Russia's move is dramatic but calculated. They will have selective partnerships. They are letting go of control and short-term profit to gain long-term leverage. Strategy through destruction. So Russia would, I'm not sure if they actually are thinking about this. I don't know. I just picked it up yesterday night. I couldn't sleep and I was just, okay, but let's think if it was the other way around. If Russia just said, yeah, now we are done. Like, you are attacking, maybe not to Hungary and Slovakia. Maybe they continue, the Druzhba pipeline still continues. But the rest of, like, Italy, France and Germany, like, from tomorrow, we are not going to deliver anything to you. And I don't know. Maybe they actually think it. I don't know. EU is confused and in denial. A wake-up call they didn't expect. Their luck is running out. I don't know. Has EU actually felt lucky in a way that they can stand there and speak about this in such a manner as they do, and then nothing happens, so they can just like talk about it? How it's almost like, a peacock that is kind of showing him off, but he is really naked or something. Like, you get the picture that they're walking a walk that they can't walk. Because I've asked and I've asked again and I've asked the third time, and EU still come running back to Russia. And I was just, what? Like, Russia is cutting them off and they are like going out there. It's Africa, it's like Venezuela, it's China, it's everybody else, and they are like building. Why doesn't EU let go? Because they can't. And that is like the core issue here. EU can't let go. And Russia is kind of pointing that out to them very kindly. That, yeah, you talk a lot, you show your peacock feathers, but if we actually cut, like for real, and not like 1 day, 2 days, 2 weeks, you will come running back. Like, you are. And not because Russia kind of wants it. I think they actually wants to make this work. But they just know, because there is a part of the Russian oil, I guess, that were some German industry or something kind of needed it in their production. And either like the German industry closes down in Germany and then moves to Russia maybe, because the oil is there, but then they have like sanctions and stuff, so they can't. I don't know how to do that. If they have to kind of close down in Germany because of it, because the oil, or do they have time to kind of change that, or is this like a fixed thing? Like, yeah, no, it is that oil. Without that oil, it doesn't work. I don't know, actually. But their luck is running out. Okay? What once felt stable turns into crisis. Internal chaos, blame games, misinformation between member states. They can't walk away from the old system, emotionally stuck, and don't know what to do. It will be an ideological battle now. Both sides are pushing forward with determination and pride. Europe won't bow, Russia won't retreat, but it brings clarity after the initial chaos. The truth about energy dependency, leadership, and economic direction will finally cut through the illusion. Both rebuild in stricter, more controlled ways. It will stabilize both. EU learns hard lesson about self-reliance and dignity. Slow diplomatic gesture will eventually come. And I just think that, because I asked, my God, I just asked, and I went like down the rabbit hole, and it was a lot of information, and it was like all optimistic and like EU self-sufficient. But then we kind of ended up so they are actually going to ask Russia again if they can buy. Yeah, no, they're going to, but it's illegal, and it's like punishment, and then it's that EU is going to come after these people. Okay, if we go that route, what happens? Yeah, no, they're going to ask Russia. I was just, oh my God. Oh, this is so embarrassing. So how I twist and turned it, there is something in the Russian oil, gas, whatever it is, that the EU, European leaders, countries actually need. Like, it's a need here. And today, with what they are trying to with the ban that is coming in 1 year, what it's trying to do is to stop that, what they are doing through like Turkey or India or whatever, they're trying to this rerouting that everybody's doing to kind of bypass this ban of actually selling it. It just starts to feel like, yeah, no, but if we don't, then we have to close down. And for some reason, I think maybe industries, they say it to the European leaders, to EU, but I don't think they listen, or they are so up on their high horse that they don't understand the consequences of their actions, like teenagers almost. Because I just kept asking, like, okay, Russia dependent, like, yeah, we can't deal with this any longer. We go out there in the world, we want stable partnership. And I just see like the Europeans, maybe not like EU in person, but like companies or like knocking on the door and just, hey, can I get, can we kind of fix this in some way through Turkey, or I don't know which country. Like Turkey looks really good in this battle, I have to say. But there was a kind of rumor that they are going after the Turkey pipeline too. I didn't know that they had a pipeline, but obviously they have, because something needs to move through Turkey. And then I don't know, it's just wild. This battle is insane. I understand my Swedish energy minister. It's just that you need to push the Swedes to move out of EU for that plan to actually work. And we become stable and financially probably do quite well if we are selling energy to the rest of Europe, because I don't see them actually doing anything to, because I think Italy is the one that is going to have the most problem. Like, I feel sorry for Italy. They don't seem to have a voice. No matter what they say, no one listens, and they are really not looking good, and they don't have the money to actually invest in something new and be, so all the talk, all the like peacockery is just, it's kind of hurting Italy quite a lot. And I'm not hearing her say anything. I don't hear like some protests or something. I heard my energy minister, but she has her own agenda, obviously. I think that's her agenda, because it was really weird. France doesn't seem to have money to do anything. They are better, I guess, but for them, they increased their spending on oil or gas 2024. It can be that they are planning to kind of store it, but that also means that they are not self-sufficient. Like they can't take care of themselves. They need to stock up for a rainy day, like if something happens. And I don't know in 1 year what they think is going to happen. Like, do they have like a power plant that is going to kind of start up in 1 year? Or I haven't heard anything about it though. Like, and Germany is just falling apart and no one seems to care, or they just feel like, yeah, no, it will like come back up again, and then we're just, it's the way of life, everything dies and then it just moves back up again. And I don't know what they are kind of imagining, but every road I took, and it's a long discussion, and it was a lot, like I could go through all of it, but it wasn't that interesting. It just went back to, yeah, no, Europe is going to come back. And I was just, oh my God, like, why are they speaking like this? Maybe because it's, as my cards say, they don't think Russia will ever do something like that. That they would just, okay, fine, we give up. We give up. We cut the oil. We cut the gas. You don't get it from next week. Are you happy? And then they go and like find something in Africa. I know that sanctions and stuff are like in the way, but maybe they can work that. If they focus, let's say they focus, instead of focusing on Europe, they just focus on, yeah, no, this is done. Like we can continue this. Are we going to just wait for, okay, in a year that we're not going to have any revenue at all? Or are we going out there and focusing on Africa, for example, and try to build together with them instead of Europe? And I'm guessing the moment they do, like, okay, fine, we give up, we shut it down, you win, Zelensky is your hero, he made it all happen. It becomes like a crisis, chaos in Europe, and Russia is like on their way focusing on something else. And then eventually we're all going to hear that like European companies has been knocking on the door like, hey, can we? Because I think the disaster of all these industries actually collapsing and people being out of their jobs, I don't get how they dare to actually gamble with this. I don't get it. I wouldn't. I would make it work, try to make it work with Russia, but that's me, obviously. Do I think that Russia is thinking about this? Yes, I do. The more I feel, the more I talk about it, I think that it's starting to kind of accept it, and it might actually happen at some point. And Europe is not going to be prepared for it, because it's like I said, it feels like you're married to someone and they say, in a year I'm going to divorce you. So you are in this limbo. Okay, why don't you divorce me now? Like, why don't you hand in the paper? Yeah, because I need to find someone new. I need to like get my things in order. And not that someone thinks it, but they actually tells you that they're going to divorce you. So you know. Okay, so in a year we are not going to be married any longer, because you are out there finding someone else, and you are out there like fixing stuff and how buying a new house, and you are like, fixing stuff. What am I supposed to do with that information? Get it? It feels like Russia is like acceptance is slowly like getting to them. Like, okay, this might actually happen. Or do they think that, yeah, no, it's just talk, it's not going to happen, we are going to continue doing this, and we're going to continue with the back channels, but the companies that actually buy from Russia, according to EU, they either are illegal, they're doing something criminal, or they will be with the next kind of law or something. So like, is that really what you want to have? Like, is that the kind of partnership you want to have? That the people that come to you is doing something criminal? Do they don't care? But that is also very, very shaky. That is not something stable or sustainable. That is, I don't know. I don't think I would have felt like that is something to build upon. Or they just think that it will sort itself out eventually. Europe comes around. Something, I don't know. Yeah, I think this is going to be something they will discuss in the future, I guess. How I see it, I think it could be good for Sweden if we get out of EU. If we don't get out of EU, then I think our energy prices will skyrocket. We are going to be dragged in to EU's glorious and brilliant plan of self-sufficiency when we are self-sufficient, but we are linked to them. So maybe that is a thing for Sweden. We need to get out of EU to actually make money on this and be stable financially from it. I think it's a good idea, obviously. If you can make it happen in reality, like open up the energy plants that we have, if you can, or they want to build new energy plants. Maybe that is a good idea if they want to keep closing down the ones we have. And I think it will be fine. I just think that you need to kind of decide now. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to focus? I saw a TikTok yesterday that if you focus in 2 years, you can erase the last 10 years if they have been bad. So maybe that is what Russia needs to do. I don't think Europe can. They don't seem to be that focused. They don't seem to be that willing to be united. Or I think they will start to fight, and then everybody's going to do what everybody wants to do. And maybe Italy would say, if they actually collapse, they say they will. Like, it's just, no energy to Italy at all. Like, from next week, we're done. Like, congratulations. And Italy just, like, collapses, is chaos, and everybody is just screaming and shouting and is, the drama of it, the Italians. Maybe Italy would change. I don't know if they can, but this is like, I'm trying to, how they will think. Maybe they will change their laws to overrule EU. And then they just go, we are going to do whatever we want. So it becomes like legit to actually buy from Russia if they want to. You know what? I know the sanctions. I know all of that, but I'm trying to kind of move past it for some way. Like, how would everybody try to move around it? I don't know. Because where would they else go? And they have other places, like would they ask, I don't know, if they would kind of reroute in some way. Okay, Russia is kind of closed down. We can't go there, so we need to go somewhere else. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's on Russia's mind, though. So that can be fun.